Now it is. So if you're watching the replay, if you rank back up to your original rank of silver, or if you rank back to your original rank of gold, so that just means maybe your team size shrunk a little bit, and Plexus never takes our title away from us, ever. But if you re-rank officially so that you have the team size of 3 for silver or 20 for gold, then you're actually going to get the bonus again. You won't get the double, but you'll get the bonus again, which is crazy huge and awesome. Again, 2 of the people on your team must have been recruited this month. Okay? If you have any questions about that at all, it is in your email, and they actually sent a reminder email about it today, but I just wanted to know everybody to know it was there. Secondly, on our team page, and if you can't find this, please let me know and I will tag you in there. We have, Julie and I did a really crazy Facebook Live last week that turned sideways on us for some reason, but it's an incentive one for this month. And the incentives, I didn't bring them downstairs with me to show you guys tonight, but there's a set of those Alex and Annie bracelets, but they're Plexus ones, a set of 3. There's also a cosmetic bag. There's some 7-day trials. So those incentives are amazing. You want to be looking for those. And it's all explained in the body of the, like in the comment section underneath the Facebook Live, but also it's explained in the Facebook Live. And it would take me about 10 minutes to explain it all out. So do go and listen to that. Everybody on this call qualifies for prizes in that incentive program. And Julie and I are running that to the end of the month. So we want to just better your chances of success this month. We really want to help you develop to silver, and we want you guys to rank up to your next rank. We want to help your newcomers rank up as quickly as possible too, because as in true vein of One Plexus, if you've seen that hashtag, it truly means that we build our businesses as a community because of the way our compensation plan works. So please make sure that you take a look at that. And again, if you don't know where that is, let me know. Okay, so I am yawning a lot. I should have had an edge or something before I did this call. Sorry. But I'm really excited to share this training with you guys tonight. I have been doing a lot of studying on Eric Worre books since the end of June. I've spent a lot of time in the car listening to audiobooks, and sometimes my husband was driving and I was even able to make notes. But there's a book that I feel everybody should have. There are lots of books I feel everybody should have, but one in particular that helps you. It's never going to give you the formula. That is something that we figure out together, but it gives us some really common sense approaches to the skills that we need to be professional network marketers. Okay? Sorry, I forgot to mute people before I started. There, so you guys should be able to carry on with your lives now. Okay. All right. So the name of the book is Go Pro. It's by Eric Worre, Worre. I have it as an audio, but I also have it as a physical book. I mostly listen to audio, but I keep the physical book if it's something that I really want to train on. I mentioned professional network marketer, and that's because there really are so many different ways to do network marketing. And there are so many people that get into network marketing and don't give it a fair chance or a fair shake because they're really doing it sort of lightly and not really doing the steps that their upline is suggesting to them. Now, I'm not saying anybody on this call is doing that, but this is the premise of the book. Training us to be professional network marketers who do it right as professionals. Sorry, that was me dinging. Do it right as professionals. And if you want to do it right, you do have to there's some steps you have to do. We're going to start with skill number 1, and you might want to be taking some notes tonight, guys. I am recording this. I will post it after the fact, but you may want to take some notes tonight to help you remember, just some memory joggers, things like that. So step number 1, skill number 1, we know we have to find people to talk to. And those are prospects. We have to find prospects. And if you want to be a professional, you've got to do it right. Your upline would have asked you to make a list, a physical list, either using a list of 64, which is a method we've used, and also by using your Frank's list, which is in your success kit that you would have received in the mail. Whatever method you use, you're building a prospect list. And I have to tell you, don't make a little mental list. Don't try to keep track of this in your head. You have to make a list. There's no way around it. If you're really doing this properly, you're talking to so many people that there's no way you're going to be able to keep track after day one. There's just no way. So you want to make a physical list that is going to evolve. It's going to continue to grow all the time, and it will. And some ends of it will shrink. Some of it, and the other end of it will grow at the same time. Luck is not going to work. Luck does not work with network marketing. If you hear somebody say, "Oh, I just got lucky," and all, no, it doesn't work like that. They're not telling you the truth. So you really have to do these things in order for it to work. I know from talking to lots of different people who said, you know what, one day I just sat down and did what my upline told me to do. And your upline is just the person who brought you into the organization, because they realized I'm not getting anywhere. They were able to get maybe silver that way, but then they couldn't grow beyond that. So it's really important that you've got a working list, a list that is comprehensive, a list of people that you're going to be prospecting. You want to find quality people to prospect. It's a skill to do that. And what I mean is you want to have a large and influential list that you're drawing from, and you want to have an active candidate list. I'm going to explain what that is in just a second. You want to make your list as comprehensive as possible, but everybody goes on your list. You can put them in categories later. Don't worry about what you're going to say to anybody. Everybody goes on your list. If you don't like them, they still go on your list. If you haven't seen them in 25 years, they still go on your list. If it's your great Aunt Gertrude's friend that you remember from childhood, she goes on your list. Everybody goes on your list. People who your 98-year-old aunt goes on your list. Your 18-year-old student goes on your list. Everybody goes on your list. You empty your mind on paper into this list, and it makes room for more stuff to go in there. Okay? A really great way, I posted this a couple days ago, a really great way to start on that is to actually print off your Facebook friends list. There's a video on our team page. It's very short. I'm in an airport and it looked like it's foggy inside the airport, but the stuff is there that you need. So go check that out. Okay. That Facebook friends list is so valuable. And if you think you've exhausted it, you haven't. Okay. You want to be looking at your list. The reason I said, like, if you don't like people, they should be on there. If there's somebody on there that you don't think should be on there, they should still be on there, is because it's not just about them. It's also about their network. One of the things we do when we're prospecting is we ask for referrals, and there's always somebody that they can refer you to, always. Okay. So that's why everybody needs to go on your list. Don't be thinking about them necessarily specifically. Also be thinking about who they know. In other words, you're always going to be expanding this list. So this list, let's say you find 100 names, you're not done. Okay. That is a starting point. Every single day, we need to be adding to our networks. Now, a lot of the time, we aren't thinking professional network marketer when we're out and about. And you may be thinking, I'm not a professional yet. I'm just starting. You are a professional. You started your own business. You're a professional network marketer. Every single person that you come into contact with in your life should be on your list. You're always meeting people. It doesn't matter if it's through work. It doesn't matter if it's through your kids' activities. It doesn't matter if it's through their school. It doesn't matter if it's at the gas station. We're always meeting people. And those people need to go on this list. All right. Sometimes we kind of get ourselves into a social media hole too. You need to think about the physical world when you're thinking about network marketing. Do not pigeonhole yourself into your Facebook or into your Instagram or your Twitter, because you're missing out on some really great potentials. Okay. So constantly expand that list. But the thing is, when you're out in the physical world, being a professional network marketer, you want to bring those names back to your physical list so you don't lose track and forget. Remember, the mental game does not work. You have to keep track. You want to be paying attention to the world. Professionals pay attention to the world. Okay. Develop those connections. You also want to be networking on purpose. So, joining a club, or just making sure, going to the farmer's market every week. That's free. Something we all can do. Frequent the same places at the farmer's market. Always go and talk to that same vendor. Be around, the same places at that farmer's market. Maybe you want to volunteer in your community. That doesn't cost you anything either, except for time. You want to volunteer in your community, take part, more leadership role in your kids' activities, maybe in brownies or something. Join a gym. That does cost money, but join a gym or some other club in your community. That is how you're going to be able to network with more people. Okay. So that is such an important thing. Your list is the backbone of your business. It is so important because this is all about relationship building and connecting with people. You may have heard me talk about this before, but oftentimes people will come from the retail world and think, I can sell ice to the Eskimos. I've heard so many people tell me that. And I'm really quiet. I don't say anything when they say this to me. But over time, most of those people fall off because they don't understand that we are not selling widgets. We are building relationships with people, and people are buying you. People trust you. Yes, they need our products. Yes, they need our opportunity. But even last night after the opportunity meeting in Moncton, we were sitting around a table having a chat, and we were talking about like Erica Allen was sitting next to me. And we were talking about someone had signed up with her instead of with me. And every time I prospected them, they gave me crickets, even though I knew them and I saw them out and about in the community. They were not interested in talking to me at all about Plexus. Erica reached out to them once and they signed up with her. That happens all the time. Why did they do that? They did not feel connected to me. They felt connected to Erica. They trusted Erica. They bought Erica. Okay. Your list is so important. Okay. So let's talk about skill number 2. Inviting people to learn more about Plexus, learning more about our products, and learning more about our opportunity, about our business opportunity. So I know you've heard this before, but I'm going to say it again. You don't have to know everything. In Plexus, we have so many third-party tools that are available to us. It is crazy. We have quick little tools like shareables. Those are intended to be shared privately. Share those with people. You can share them on your social wall as well, but they're super effective privately. Some other things that we have that are more bigger to share would be things like opportunity meetings, getting someone out to an opportunity meeting, having people do a 7-day challenge, attending an online event, which, by the way, look for that very, very soon. We're having an online event on our team again this month. So you need to really be thinking about those tools because you don't have to know everything. We have those tools available to us to share with people. Today alone, I sent that Plexus Slim, the longer video, the 1:21 one, I sent that to 4 people today. And then if that wasn't enough, then I sent them the Jill Werness one next because it was more scientific and had more information. I didn't have to spew off about the Plexus Slim. I let an expert do it because that's duplicatable. If you guys want to have a team, the only way network marketing works is if you do things that other people can do easily on their own. Okay. If you want to build a team and you want to make it easy for them too, then you have to do that. You have to start using these tools and train your people to use them as well. So you practice it. Last week in our training, we said, we are not hunters. We are farmers. We are nurturing relationships. We are not hunters. So if you go at this as a hunter, you're going to have yourself a full-time and a half job because no one's going to say yes to you and you're just going to have to prospect. That's not the goal here. Build relationships with people, and then there's going to be a green light moment where it's appropriate for you to prospect, and we're going to talk about that later in the training, okay? But as you're cultivating relationships with the people on your list, and as you're inviting people to learn more, you really have to put yourself in your prospect's shoes. You really do. You have to listen to them, and you have to be intuitive about what it is that they need next. If you are hammering at home on them and you're pushy and you're salesy, they're not going to be interested in what you're offering them. They will actually shut down. They won't take the tools, the shareables that you're offering them. They'll say no, or they won't answer you when you say, would you prefer if I sent you a video or if I sent you a document? Or could I send you a video or a document? they're not going to answer you. Okay. So it's really, really important, because professionals don't pitch. They send tools out, and then they connect with people about those tools. So let me give you an example. You reach out to somebody, you've built a relationship with them, and now you feel that it's an appropriate time, if they haven't already reached out to you, and you feel it's an appropriate time for you to reach out and say, listen, I was thinking of you, and sorry, I should have prefaced this by saying, always start with the business, always. And if you're feeling like, oh, that scares me, try it. You won't know till you practice it. But people need this opportunity. If you start with the products, the only place you have to go if they say no is to the referral. If you start with the business, you can pivot to the products and then pivot to the referral. Okay? Let me explain. So you reach out to Sally and you say, hey, Sally, listen, I was thinking of you today because, I remember you saying that you were really dissatisfied with your job. Is that true? And if Sally comes back and says, yes, it is, then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to say, listen, I've got this great, wonderful opportunity that I've been working with. You've probably seen me posting about it on Facebook. I would love to get on the phone with you and talk more about this. You can stay on Messenger if you want to, but you're going to have great results over the phone, or even greater in person. It is so powerful. If you're scared to do that, if you're scared to get on the phone with somebody, then have your upline join you for a 3-way call. If you're new, do it that way as well. If you're reaching out to Sally and you know the business isn't for her, you don't feel it would be a good fit for her, maybe you feel maybe Sally's not organized, or maybe Sally just isn't somebody that would necessarily be a good fit for your team, then absolutely start with the products. And what you're going to want to do when you get Sally on the phone is you're going to want to use, again, you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to know everything. Jump on the phone with Sally and say, listen, thank you so much for agreeing to talk to me. I have so much pride in what I'm doing and would just love to share with you. Tell me about your health goals if it's for product. And if it's not about product, then say, listen, I'd love to send you some information. Let's talk some more about your situation. Like, what are your goals and that kind of thing. And then you can send Sally a third-party tool. Okay. So these are online presentations that you can invite her to and put her in. This is shareables. These are YouTube videos. Those are all available at our fingertips. Okay. Once you've done that with Sally, the most important thing that you can do is treat every single time you talk to her as an exposure. So you're going to want to say to Sally, listen, Sally, when do you think you're going to have time to look at that? Ask her. Then she's going to create the time for your next appointment with her answer. So if you say to Sally, when are you going to be able to, when do you think you might be able to watch that video? And Sally's going to say, I can watch it Tuesday. You say, awesome. So listen, Sally, if you're going to watch it Tuesday, then if I reach out to you on Wednesday, that'll give you plenty of time to watch that video, right? And Sally's going to say, yeah. Sally's now confirmed for you twice that she's going to listen to your video, watch your video. And she's also confirmed that Wednesday would be a really good time to reach back to her. If you send somebody a video and then you don't set up the next exposure, the next time that you're going to talk to them, if you do that, you are deadening the conversation, and you're going to have a really hard time picking that conversation back up. You really need people to agree to that next time. And it's all about how you posture it. It's not about them. It is about them, but it's not about what they say. It's about what you say. It's about you asking them, when can you do this? And then coming back and saying, okay, well, if you could do it Tuesday, then I could reach out to you on Wednesday and that'd be okay. And Sally's going to say, yeah, sure. And you're going to have that double confirmation that it's going to be okay to talk to her on Wednesday. So you've made the appointment already. And then you pick up your phone and you tell Siri, if you have an iPhone, remind me to talk to Sally at 1:00 on Wednesday. And on 1:00 on Wednesday, your phone's going to ring and Siri's going to tell you to call Sally or message Sally, whichever you're going to do, whichever you've agreed to. Okay. If you have another kind of phone, just schedule it in, set it as an alarm or something so that it reminds you to do that. Okay. There's nothing more powerful than having these tools available to send to people. And there's nothing more powerful than setting up that next appointment with them. And I just I cannot express that enough. You'll notice that we're having more opportunity meetings, these live meetings. The physical interaction between people at these meetings and getting people out so they can see our community, they believe you, okay, or they wouldn't be talking to you about it. But getting people out to these events is so crucial and so important if you can get them out, okay? There's social proof, so they see the community, they see the value, they hear other people saying the same things you've been saying, they hear more experts speak on the topics, the products, the compensation plan, it's education, more support for them to help them make a decision. And there's always the excitement of the stories and the testimonials, and they're so good. And they're not robots on the internet, they're real people. So if you can get people out to events, it's just the most important. And I've been training on our team page about how to do that. And really the easiest way is just short and sweet and to the point. My friend Sally is getting invited to lots of things today. Hey, Sally, my team is having an event. I always call it an event. I never say an opportunity meeting because people are like, what the heck is an opportunity meeting? So I just say, my team is having an event and I would love for you to come with me. I can pick you up if you can. I would love to pick you up and bring you with me. And this is what we can expect at the meeting. It's just gonna be a bunch of my friends telling their stories of health and some financial parts as well. A bunch of us are going to go out for a drink after, if that's something you can accommodate. And would love your support, because the more people I have in those seats supporting me just really helps me on my journey. That's it. That's all you have to say. And that's on our team page a bunch of times if you want to go look for it. But it works. And I want to tell you something else. The hardest thing to get people to commit to is a physical meeting. So if you invite 5 people, probably you won't get anyone out. If you invite 20 people, you'll probably get 1 person out. You really have to work it to get people out to events. The good news is they usually become a customer or an ambassador. So, and oftentimes business partners are born at events. I am proof of that. I went to an opportunity meeting in Fredericton, and that was the day I decided to run with the business. So it does matter and it does work. So make sure that and so if you're not in the physical community where the opportunity meeting is happening, do not discount that as business growth for you. We will take care of your people, or whoever's at the opportunity meeting will take care of those people for you. They'll ask you, who invited you to attend this event? They'll sit with them. They'll introduce them to some people. They'll make sure that they are well looked after, well cared for, and before they leave, they'll make sure they give them a high five or handshake or a hug or whatever it happens to be. Okay? Very, very important. And I just want to say one more thing about network marketing before I continue here. This isn't about you having like 100 people running with the business. This is not about that. Network marketing is all about getting a small group of people to do just a few simple things and keep doing them. That's duplicatable. I've used that word a few times tonight. And what happens is, if you have a small number of people doing these things that I'm telling you, it duplicates down. They're going to find people, they're going to teach them to do the same thing. They're going to find people, they're going to teach them to do the same thing. That is how this works, guys. It's not about you finding 100 people so that you can go to Diamond. This is all about you finding a small number of people who are willing to do that. Okay? A small number of people who are willing to do these steps that I'm talking about. And then they duplicate that down all the way through their organizations. It's just so important. Okay, so when you're inviting people and you're prospecting people, I need you guys all to do this for me. You need to emotionally detach from the outcome. That means when people say no to you or when people don't answer you, you just pivot somewhere else and move. Do not worry if this person does not answer you. It's okay. It happens every day. The more no's you get, the better off you are, because you're getting closer to yeses. This is a numbers game, and you really need to understand that. Emotionally attach, or detach, pardon me. It's okay. And you know what? It's harder to do than what I just said. Okay? I had somebody who was supposed to sign up with me on Friday. Crickets. He didn't show up at a physical meeting. Didn't show up, messaged him, won't answer me. I have no idea why. But you know what? I'm not going to give up on him. I just need to keep going. Right? And was I upset? No. But a lot of people have said no to me. So I feel well practiced at the no. Okay. I used to, though, that would have really upset me when I started. And I wish I hadn't let it. I wish that I had just been able to go, oh, well, and move on, because I would have been much better off. Because it's emotion wasted, and you don't want to be on this roller coaster in your business. You want to keep things pretty straightforward so that you can function, enjoy your life, and keep prospecting. Be yourself and be your best self when you're talking to people. Be positive. Be happy. Like, this is a great company. You feel good. You want people to see that. Okay. So that's something you need to do. Bring your passion when you're talking to people about this, and have a strong posture. Be bold, be confident, be strong, and be yourself, but be a bolder self. Be yourself, be a stronger self, and be yourself, but be a more confident self. It's like building a muscle. The more you practice doing these things, the better you'll be. You're probably not going to believe this, but when I started my business, I could not get up in front of a group of people and talk. And just because I'm a teacher does not mean that I speak well in front of groups of people. As a matter of fact, it's just the opposite. I'm very outgoing and I love to socialize, but I could not speak to groups of people before I started with Plexus. It's taken practice for me to be bold. I'm going to give you an example of when I had to have strong posture, and I had to be myself, but be bolder, and be myself and be stronger, and be myself and be more confident. So they say the physical world is the best place to prospect, not on social media, although it is such a great tool and we all are using it, and we should be. I was in the workroom of my school, and there was a lady in there who is sometimes very grumpy. And she was talking about her bloat, her belly bloat. And I literally just decided to run with the business. I was taking the products. I had no real story. I didn't have any really solid scientific, like you thought I had to know everything, right? I had no really solid scientific things. But I remember one of the things I learned at that opportunity meeting, because I had some training afterward, was you don't have to know everything. If somebody opens the door, just walk in. You'll figure it out. And I was like, be bolder, be stronger, be more confident. So I said, have you ever tried a probiotic? To her, like, just as contrite and just as like, and my heart was just doing this. And I kid you not. And you know what? She completely blew me off. It was horrible. It was horrible because she was like, yeah, well, they don't work anyway. And, grumble, grumble, grumble. And that's fine. But I practiced it. I practiced being bold and confident and strong and all that stuff. The next time was easier. And now I flies right out of my mouth. It doesn't matter where I am. And I don't worry what anybody thinks about it. Not because I do it perfect, just because I've practiced it and I'm not the best at it. I'm continually learning and getting better because I practice it. It's just like going to the gym and working on your biceps. It is just the same. It's a muscle. You got to strengthen it. And the more you do it, just like getting up and speaking in front of people, the better you're going to be. Okay. And if you make a mistake, who cares? If you don't do it the perfect way, so what? Because you practiced and you reflected. Maybe you go back to your upline and you're like, oh my gosh, just guess what just happened. And I know I did that. I called Julie and I'm like, oh my goodness, guess what I just did? And, and I remember feeling that fear and scared and all of that, but I just pushed past it, and you will get really good at that. Okay. I mentioned earlier about getting in front of people and getting people out for a coffee or on the phone. Same. You're going to get really good at that. Invite them, be bold, be confident, be strong, invite them for that appointment, because it does really, really work. Okay. Remember to always ask for that next appointment. When do you think you could watch the video? When, so you think you'll be able to watch it on Tuesday, so I can call you on Wednesday. Very important, setting up that next time. Okay. And putting it in their hands. Don't say, well, could we meet at 10:30? Don't do that. Have them pick yeah, I can watch it on Tuesday. So then on Wednesday, you can reach back out to them. Okay. So we talked about that. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of you have practiced this yet or not, but it's a really good idea to develop a 60-second little speech that you can give about yourself and about your story, even if your story is one day old. Okay. I'm going to read you mine. And this is a story that I often tell if I'm asked to speak at an opportunity meeting, just so people have a little bit of a background, but I don't have to sell the whole farm and give my entire testimonial. It is also something that I've used as a video to send to cold prospects. Cold prospects are people that I don't really know very well, but I've met them in a group on Facebook or something. But this is a really good way for you to reflect, and also just something that you'll have in your back pocket. So here's mine. My name is Tanya Bostic, and 2.5 years ago, I was desperate to fix some health issues I had. In the midst of fixing them with some health supplements my friend shared with me, I was introduced to network marketing. My business evolved literally organically by accident, and when I learned the compensation plan, I went all in with intent. This opportunity has changed my life. I neglected to mention that my financial health was very poor at the time as well. Instead of being scared for the future, I'm looking to it with such excitement. That's it. 60 seconds. If you've ever heard of an elevator speech, that's an elevator speech. It just helps you go up. It gives you something to talk about to go up. Okay? So that's something that I would strongly recommend that you guys do. Just take a few minutes and take that, and you can look up elevator speech, Google it, and you'll maybe even find a template for it. Okay. Actually, I'm sure you probably will. So very, very important. And that was skill number 3, by the way. That was presenting the product or the opportunity. It's a good way to segue into that if you're in a position where you can do that. Okay, to give a speech like that. But one thing I would recommend that you do is, if none of you yet have had your own in-house sip and see, Krista, I think you're having one, aren't you, on Monday? Yeah, that's awesome. That's a great place to start practicing speaking in front of people about Plexus, because chances are you're going to be in your living room or a friend's living room. A sip and see is just an informal, it's like a short opportunity meeting where people have conversations about Plexus, and your upline can help you with that. Okay. But it's a great chance for you to tell your story. So that would be a really good reason to write this stuff down. If you have not yet been to an opportunity meeting, sip and see, and you haven't yet hosted one, if you are looking for help to host one, like in your house or at a church or wherever you want to have it, it doesn't have to be fancy. You can have it at a bar. People have done all kinds of crazy stuff. So wherever you would like to have one, let me know. We'll find, if I can't make it there to help you, we'll find somebody who can, if you're feeling like you just need support and sort of another sort of expert, I guess. That would be awesome. So that was skill number 3, presenting your product or opportunity. Okay. Skill number 4 is the most important, and it's our last one of today, and it's called follow up. Follow up is truly, truly the most important skill that we have. So many people reach out to somebody, they don't get the answer they want, which is yes, I'm going to join you right now, and then they don't follow up with them again. Follow up is the crucial skill to being a professional network marketer. So going back to that list that I talked about, if on that list you've got 100 people and you only send 100 messages and you think, oh, I didn't grow my fortune, my fortune off these 100 people. No, you probably aren't going to. You need to follow up with those people. Sorry, my computer's getting hot. I'm just going to put it down here. You need to follow up with those people. It's so important. So let's talk about how to do that. Following up is really, you know what follow up should be called? It should be called doing what you said you'd do. Because if you are doing this formula where you're reaching out to somebody with a tool, you're creating that next appointment with them, you follow up with that next appointment, Once you get to that next appointment, that's follow-up. That's doing what you said you'd do. That's showing up for the appointment that you made with them. Once you get to that part, this is where people think, oh, I followed up and it didn't work. Okay. Most people need between 8 and 10 exposures before they're actually going to say yes. And even then, that might not be enough for some. Okay. So if they don't do what they said they were going to do, let's say that you contact them back and you say, okay, so, did you have time to watch the video? If they say, you know what, no, actually, I didn't have time, you're going to say, that's okay. When do you think you can, like, for sure, for sure? And use for sure, for sure. When do you think you can for sure, for sure? Because you're lightening the load, you're lightening the tone, you're letting them know it's okay, and you're letting them know that we can still talk about it another time. The next thing you need to do is set up the next appointment. Do not get off the horn by saying, okay, well, you watch it and I'll talk to you soon. No, no, no. You say, when do you think you watch it for sure, right? And they're saying, okay, well, I can watch it for sure on Friday. Okay, so if you're going to watch it on Friday, I'm totally going to reach back around and check in with you on Saturday. Okay? And then people will respect that. Okay? Then you follow the same steps on Saturday. Sally, did you watch the video? Did you have a chance to watch that video yet? Sally's probably going to say yes because she's confirmed with you twice. Okay. And you say, Sally, that's wonderful. What was, and never ever ask this next question. It's the bad question. And if you've asked it, don't worry, because so have I. Don't ask them, what did you think? Never ever ask, what did you think? Instead, there's so many other things you can say that are thought-provoking, and that will elicit different responses. Because if you say, what'd you think? They're going to be like, I don't know, right? If you ask them, what did you like the best? Or what was your biggest takeaway? Or what did you think of this fact from the video? Be more specific if you want. But ask them something whereby it's going to be easy for them to answer you so that you can keep the conversation going, because that's what's really, really important, okay? So let's say they did watch it the first time you reached out to them. So you set the appointment. Sally said Tuesday, you reached out on Wednesday, and you say, you skip the whole, we know Sally's watched it. Then you go on to the next phase, which is, what did you like best? What was your biggest takeaway? What did you think of when she said XYZ? Okay. That's going to keep your conversation going. Now, that's only your second exposure with Sally. Sally may not be ready. So that's why you have to have other things up your sleeve. The other things, let's go back to them. Online meetings, opportunity meetings, 7-day trials, 3-way call with your sponsor, all of those things, the shareables, other YouTube videos. Maybe Sally's a really green personality, which means she needs all the data she can get. If Sally's a data collector and she needs the science, then you've probably figured that out by now, because she's asking questions about ingredients and things like that. So you just say to Sally, listen, Sally, my friend Jill has a wonderful video. Jill Burness has a great Plexus Slim video. And, she gets right into the science. She is a professional healthcare practitioner. She knows all about this stuff. And she's the expert. So I'm going to send you this video. When do you think you could watch it? For sure, for sure. Okay. And then you're going to make that next appointment. Sally's going to pick the time because she's going to tell you when she can watch it. And then you're going to confirm the time by saying, so if you watch it on Thursday, I can reach out to you on Friday and that would be good. And Sally's going to say, yes, you can. So I've just talked about product. The same thing applies to the opportunity. Exactly the same thing. So if you're reaching out about the business and they've agreed to watch something or look at something, chances are that something that you're going to send them is either going to be a video from a top leader in the company, or it might be a 3-way call with your upline. Okay. Either one of those things are going to make sense when you're talking about the opportunity. When it comes to the products, we have all our shareables and all our videos and all that stuff. When it comes to the opportunity, you're going to want to plug them in with other tools like I just mentioned, the top earner video, a 3-way call with your upline. If your upline is new, go to their upline and just keep going till you find somebody who can do that with you. Opportunity meetings are the best place to send people who are at all interested in the business, because they get the full package in one sitting. They get the community, they get the products, they get the compensation plan, they get the business, they get everything. Okay. Right. Okay. So earlier I referred to last week's training where we talked about hunting versus farming. Okay. The same thing applies here. If you are thinking, well, why didn't they watch the video? If they say they didn't watch the video, well, why didn't you watch it? You said you'd watch it. You can't do that. That's hunting. People aren't ready. And we can't be pushy. We cannot be pushy. We cannot say, oh, no, you're going to join me. Yes, you are. Yes, you're going to join me, and you're going to get 3 people, and you're going to get double bonus this month, and it's going to be great, and I'm going to grow, and you're going to grow. No, you can't do that because people aren't ready for that. Okay? I've seen people do that, and I've seen what the prospect does. The prospect shrivels up and just like slithers away. We never hear from them again. So that's something to definitely avoid. Okay. When you get Sally to a certain point in your follow-up and you've gone back and forth, you've offered up a few tools, maybe Sally's gone to an opportunity meeting, Sally's gone to a sip and see, or maybe Sally's just watched 2 Plexus Slim videos. Whatever the case, if you feel like you can ask this question, you're going to know. Sally's going to give you some sort of signal, okay? There's something holding her back from saying, let's do this, okay? You're going to ask her this question. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being weak and 10 being strong, how are you feeling about this right now? Ask her on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being weak and 10 being strong, how are you feeling about this right now? This opportunity, this product, whatever. Okay. If Sally says to you, I'm about a 5, you're going to ask Sally, what can I do for you? What is missing from what I'm providing you that could make that number higher? Again, you're not telling Sally what to do. Sally's going to tell you what to do. Sally's going to dictate what time you meet with her. Sally's going to dictate what day, and Sally's going to dictate what she needs next based on your questions. So ask her on that scale of 1 to 10, where are you? If Sally says 1, then you need to send more information to Sally. Definitely. Sally's looking for more information. She's green. Okay. Or she needs a third-party validation if you haven't had a three-way call yet. Okay. Never finish without setting up that next exposure, no matter where you're at. Okay. Ever. And have patience because Sally's not ready. And that's okay. That does not mean you focus on Sally. You move on to other people, but you always come back to Sally and you set up the next appointment with Sally. Okay. Eventually, Sally will become a part of your organization in some way. And if she doesn't, you pivot to the referral. So the last stop would be this. Listen, Sally, we've had lots of conversation. I know you're interested, and maybe it's not the right fit for you right now, but I'll bet you have friends whom you know this could help. Would you be willing to share this with 3 or 4 friends for me? And pivot to the referral. Okay. You've offered her all kinds of tools. It's just not there for her right now, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean you're saying goodbye to her. Oftentimes when you use this question with people, they will actually say, you know what? I don't know why I'm dragging my heels. You've actually taken the pressure off of Sally because you're like, I've given up on you, Sally. I'm moving on. Do you have some friends? And that really does and in some way, I think it allows people to make the decision for themselves because they know that they don't feel pressured, or they don't feel, even though you're not pressuring them, they feel that. So then they don't want to disappoint you maybe. So this gives them the opportunity to say those words. And the last thing I want to leave you with, it's not another skill, it's under follow-up, is you can condense these exposures. You could do this over the course of like 8 weeks, or you could do this over the course of a week. So you're constantly like setting up the next appointment, sending the next thing, inviting to the next thing, and you're doing that in a condensed amount of time. That means that you need to be very organized, and you need to know exactly what's happening in my area, what kinds of things am I going to send her, where do I find the things I'm going to send her, who's willing to do a 3-way call with me. Those are the types of things you need to do. Notice that I never at any point ever put any pressure on Sally with saying things like, you don't want to do it. You need to join. yes, you think maybe you think it's expensive, but your Starbucks is that I see you going with is more expensive. Like, don't use any of those tactics because people will run for the hills. You just need to be patient and you just need to meet them where they are. That's what's important. And that's what's going to make people join and stay with you as well. Okay. So let's review what the tools we have are. We have shareables in our back office. We have YouTube videos that have been made by industry professionals inside Plexus, both on the corporate level and also just within ambassadors, just like you and me, who've had success with the business or who are just good trainers, okay? We have opportunity meetings. We have online meetings, which we are having one of this month on our team. And again, you'll be hearing about that in the next few days. We have 7-day challenges. There's one of those coming up in August. And you can also have your very own sip and see, where you just get a few friends to come and learn and have a conversation. You can tell your story, get your upline to help you. If you don't have anybody in your area physically, let's say you're watching this video on the replay, because everybody here is around here. But like, for example, my ambassador in Calgary, she's my only Calgary ambassador right now, but I can Zoom in and do an opportunity meeting for her or do a sip and see for her. We do it all the time in Plexus. So that's another thing that you can use. But having these things, they're always just in your back pocket. You can just pull one out and say, okay, well, you know what, I'd love to send you this, video, this document, this, whatever it is. If you're unsure of some of these tools that we have that are in our virtual office, go and poke around in there. Okay, go to your virtual office, then you're going to go to shareables, and then you're going to go to products or tools or promotions or whatever you want to share. You can download them to your device. You can export them out. You can share them in Messenger. There's just so many opportunities of many different ways that you can use those tools. Okay. Now, I've done an awful lot of talking here. I don't even know what time it is. I didn't look. Woo! Okay. Just wondering, wanted to open the floor up for questions, or maybe you've run across something that you want to share with everybody. Maybe you've had a prospecting problem, like something that we could help you solve. Whatever it is, would love to hear from you. And don't be shy. And if you prefer, you can type it in the chat, because we've all had those. Okay, I'll ask a question. Raise your hand if you understand what tools we have available to us. Raise your hand if you understand the tools that we have. Okay, good. Raise your hand if you feel like you know which one to send when. Okay, good. Because that matters. So listening to your prospect, knowing what they need next, is just as simple as asking them what they need. Don't be scared to ask people that's what they want. Think about going to buy furniture. If you're going into a furniture store and you're looking for a couch, so you walk in, and what happens? Hopefully a salesperson's going to come over to you and greet you and ask you how they can help you today. That's what we're doing. It's the very same thing. We are helping people and providing them with solutions. So one way that we ask people that question is just asking them what their goals are. If it's a general conversation you're having with somebody, instead of us saying, what can I do for you today? We're asking them, what are your goals? And helping them find the right tools for those. And let's face it, most people are coming to us for product. Cool. I can't believe you guys are so quiet. I'm so not, so. Well, you've been lovely. If anybody does have any questions after and you didn't want to ask them here, please send me a message and I'll do my best to help you, okay? But have a great week. And do look, make sure you're inviting people out to that Sackville Opportunity Meeting, and please, please look for that next online meeting that we're going to be having very shortly. Okay? Awesome. Thanks, guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye.